Dawson's Rambles.
Hey YouTube, Dawson Rider here with my Comic-Con Power Rangers news wrap-up video. To be honest, there's not a whole lot to talk about, and this video is kind of late after Comic-Con ended, but I had some other new videos that needed priority. But basically, this was a quieter Comic-Con. The only reason I'm doing it is because I did want to talk about the few little tidbits, and then just kind of talk about the fact that there was a lack of news, basically. And it's also awkward because I titled my first news video Day 1, and then it's like, no other days, because there really wasn't any other news. Like, the biggest news was the thing that I did the video on, which was the Ryu Ranger, the new Ryu Ranger from Street Fighter and the little tie-in crossover movie, which was neat, you know, it was fine. But there really wasn't too much else, you know. The Super Ninja Steel cast was there. I believe they weren't there last year? Or I think it was last year because of the movie or something, or there was one year they weren't there or something, or some cast wasn't there, but they were there for signings, but there was no panel or anything. I mean, it would have just been a pre-approved reply from Saban panel, like with, you know, their approved answers. But there was no panel of anything like that. The only other two little tidbits of news were, and they weren't even news, like this thing about Beast Morphers was, you know, there was like a breakfast for like the people in the know. Like, I don't think I'll get there, maybe someday, but like, so they probably found out some more info. But I'm talking about like in terms of, you know, in the main public eye, like the Beast Morpher suits were there to take pictures with and stuff like that. Like the only other info we got, like I said, came out when I did the other video, but I didn't really think it was news. It's more like an interesting fact, which is that they had to basically recreate most, if not all, of the suits from Go Busters for the US footage. You know, that will often happen in certain cases. I've heard about it happening more often in monster suits, of like the deterioration, and sometimes we just, you know, straight up recreate the suits anyway, like as we saw with Dino Charge and Ninja Steel. We didn't do such a hot job on the cloth for the Gold Rangers. But, so that's interesting. That I'm not necessarily going to fully speculate on that. Like, that could mean they lean more on Sentai footage because they don't want to have to film US footage. But, you know, you never know. It just kind of depends on what they want in charge. I don't want to, like, jump to any conclusions. Like, it could mean that. But honestly, so long as the story's good or the show's good, I don't really care so much what they lean on. Although our footage always does look prettier. Like, even, like, back in the day, it was easier to tell, like, oh, this is really grainy Sentai footage, and then here's ours. But even now that Sentai's in HD as well, ours still looks crisper for some reason. Probably whatever cameras they use and some technical gadget thing. But yeah, so, I mean, that definitely could mean that, but it also could mean some cool original footage. If we do get an exclusive cockpit mode, I hope it's not just a cockpit mode. I don't think it's needed. I could do a whole video on that, but yeah, I still hope we see some good original footage. I think my core worry / wish for this is please just make the Gold Ranger suits gold. That's it. But yeah, that was just more of an interesting fact than anything else. For like the Shattered Grid Boom comic stuff, we didn't get a whole lot of news or anything like that. I mean, we already got some synopsises and covers releasing for some of the Beyond the Grid era stuff. But there was just some little tidbits about, you know, they're going to be the Hodgepodge team, that's what they're called, hashtag Team Hodgepodge, is basically going to be existing in kind of like a dark, you know, shattered world. Not shattered necessarily, but you know what I mean. Like, I don't know if it'll be fragmented, but it's going to be the darker aftermath of Shattered Grid. It's going to be a little bit of a darker story. Apparently they're going to have trouble morphing, from what I understood, which is kind of interesting. I think that whole story breeds some really interesting material. Obviously, I'm pretty sure we're not going to stick with that team forever. We're probably going to eventually either go back to MMPR or something slightly different. But I'll be interested to see whether this Beyond the Grid story will sort of take place in the darkest outcome of Shattered Grid, and the storyline's going to be, because it says it's about them navigating it, but whether it's going to be about them fixing it. Like, I'm really curious to see, because it's so unknowable. I'm like, okay, is this world they're going to live in forever? Are they just going to fix it a little bit so that people can morph and the Rangers come back? Or are they going to fix it like a lot so that we get to see what does the timeline look like now that Tommy got taken out as the Green Ranger? Will Tommy come back? I don't know. Lots of questions, but really nothing hugely new. Just little info, like teases. But that was it. Like, it was a very quiet Comic-Con. Because, like, next year's going to be the year we're in the Hasbro era, like, deep in it. Like, with the toys and the show. That's when I expected to have the big showing. But I was expecting a little more of something. Like, I thought we were at least going to get their usual, like, half-effort, like, trailer, which is just, like, Beast Morpher, or Go Busters footage with, like, you know, graphics put over it, like, new Rangers, new Zords. Like, I thought we would just get another version of that. I honestly thought we would for sure get, like, a little Super Steel teaser, you know, with a couple of new scenes, and then they would announce the date of the return, because it's supposed to return, like, next month. So I thought at the very minimum that. Like, it wouldn't have been, yeah, Super Steel returns, so excited, but I was expecting that, like, bare minimum. We didn't even get that. I mean, we'll find that out probably soonish, but I expected, at the very least, a tease of its return, with a trailer, an announcement of the date, maybe a tease of the anniversary stuff, like, because I assumed we would be doing bigger Beast Morpher stuff and stuff of the like, I assumed it would at least give Super Steel something, but nothing with that. Nothing too much more with Beast Morphers. You know, obviously I wasn't expecting a look at the Hasbro toys. There's a small chance I think we could see it at Morphicon. I don't necessarily think we would see, like, on the show floor ones, but we maybe could see, like, some prototype images and thoughts, kind of like Bandai did last year, or the last Morphicon. They had, like, you know, like a kind of a slideshow of, like, some of the stuff they're working on, but we didn't have physical images. So I don't know. I might do, like, a PMC speculation hopes video for, like, you know, news. Full disclosure, or for the record, I'm not going. I'm just going to be following the news, so you can expect, like, videos on that. But if you'd like to see maybe a speculation video, because I don't want to bog this video down with those speculations. But yeah, very quiet Comic-Con. I didn't expect it to be huge, but I was hoping for a little bit more than what we got. I feel that they should have done kind of like a pre-hype for next year's, just to get the talk about the brand going. And even though they're probably going to save some stuff for Morphicon, which makes sense, it also doesn't make sense because Comic-Con's a way bigger stage, so I feel like you'd want to split some of those reveals. Anyway, that's about it. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps and ring the bell to get notifications for more of my videos. Dawson Rider, signing out.